I don't care what they give me for this, by the way. You know, I read this. And sure, I need to do this. So, historical overview of the arguments of many professionals in their fields a few centuries ago and their debates brought forward into existence the theory that anatomical multi-human origins can be found with associate living implements called ELS during the tertiary epoch. This was and still is a fact today. This theory for a short time was taken seriously by the academic society who believed at the time in the logical argument for the transitional period that man's origins extended back and further in time due to the sophisticated flint-knapping techniques of the Paleolithic industries. So, as to be expected, this search came with it the need to find skeletal remains that would be associated with cruder flint implements extending back into the tertiaries. This subject saw many professionals in their field over a period of 20 years find physical evidence to support this theory, and by proxy, more evidence of evolution through the lithic industries of man. The ELF debate itself has massive implications on the thought process of man's origins, especially when you re-examine the geological principles which are constrained to the theory of evolution. When one really studies the overlying principle theories which are still in the minds of academic thought today still, you begin to get an overall sense that these theories are literally just that. They are theories, people. It's only when you take all evidence, all archaeological evidence, all paleontological evidence, the geological, what is the geological evidence, what is geology, petrification, mud fossils, the flood, that you begin to see that the biggest cover-up of all time has been history itself. Many biblical archaeologists over the years have discovered true evidence to support the interpretation that the Bible, however much changed from its original cuneiform message, has absolute merits for further examination and explanation. One case, for example, is the discovery of Noah's Ark by Ron Wyatt on Mount Ara, and is 11 kilometers exactly where it should be, the same size as it should be, and with metals, and is other variously but just as remarkable biblical finds, such as, you know, the chariots of the Egyptians in the Red Sea, and horses, skeletons, and all sorts of things, and the Ark itself. Anyway, this fight for your perception, which is very important to know, by the way, because that is key to understand when shit's really going to hit the fan, and the rebuilding of Solomon's temple and the housing of the Ark of Covenant in it. So Ron Wyatt's found the Ark and they're rebuilding the temple, and Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Whether you want to accept it or not doesn't matter. They believe it, and they're the ones that are in control of it. The Zionists that we gave power to and our resources to in 1917. Wow. Where am I? Ron Wyatt. This is a fight for your perception of reality, and it is a fundamental battle that has been raging for a very long time or more, by a clever web of lies based on false principles created by demonic forces and evil at the core of our society, who have lied to you your whole entire lives. This includes cosmology, geology, archaeology, paleoanthropology, geography, scientific methods, and much more. It involves controversy, cover-ups, sackings, campaigns of slander, and even murder. It's incredible, and much more to do with the techniques of how they've covered it up, to do with labeling and misdirection. Literally. It's incredible over the centuries the power these people have acquired to get away with this deception. For the British, the signing of the Balfour Agreement in 1917 allowed for the transmission of the Zionist Federation of Britain. These sick people planned, here we go, both major wars, and executed their plans to obtain Israel by eliminating the Jewish community, to then get the support of the West to give the Zionists control of Israel. Now, if you speak about the Jews, even though it has nothing to do with the regular people, just like when I speak about the Muslims, hierarchy, you are an anti-Semite, when Zionism is the fake Jews, which is warned in prophecy. The Muslim religion is controlled by the Catholic Church, and Zionism is the Catholic Church. Please, people, they are the same. It's only when you study the occult and its connections to these secret societies that you begin to see who has exactly been causing all of humanity's society problems through the centuries up to today, by causing chaos to bring order, by making us sick for profit, are lying to us about the mechanisms that govern our existence. To get away with this shit, it has to end. This topic involves many evil deeds that bring to light the darkness of the royal families and these Gentile elite groups. And that's right, you must learn the darkness of this world in order to bring light into it. Please do not shy away from what you're hearing. It is truth and you must know it. Once you know what you're to look for, you will not start finding horrendously and horrible things about pedophilia to do with these child groups and sacrifices behind closed doors. Now they want to make pedophilia acceptable by changing the English language and by saying that you can be born a pedophile even though it has to do with you, your baby, and your subconscious. What you hear on the television, and it does go into your child's mind, and if you're listening to a lot of stuff that has a lot of suggestiveness of being gay, then guess what? Your child's going to be gay. Because you do not know reality, you do not know programming, you do not know how your subconscious is always working, literally listening to everything, and you can't control it. So please, people, be knowledgeable about what you are and what you're capable of, and be careful what your child listens to, even in the womb, because it hears and it does and it sees. These paedophile elites, man, need to go. They've been exposed so many times, but we do nothing. We need to get together as one, not for money, but for, for the sake of humanity. We need to abolish money. We need to see that there are other answers to humanity's our salvation, and that it rests in the knowledge of the Bible and the ancient past. So because they're the ones that created this money, and they've used history against you. They've used archaeological documentaries to make you think history is not what it is either. It's very hard to explain these things, what they've done with the television. So they are protected by their money, they are protected by their power, their laws, which do not apply to these people. Their judges, protected by their other high-ranking brothers in their secret society, in their secret societies. They are the people that have caused mass genocide and plotted against humanity for too long. Now they have the technology to absolutely decimate it. We've been ignorant of it. We've ignored the Bible. We've ignored ancient past. We've ignored people that are literally speaking the truth on a daily basis about what's really going on. Can you really keep ignoring this? If you truly knew how they have deceived humanity into filling their sick of transgender, transhumanism, one language, Babylonian, horror culture, you would immediately turn your energies into fighting the beast system, which, at pointing out the academic society, has helped create. Not just them, it's not them, it's everyone. The police need to turn their guns on the people that they work for, the military. They'll stop, our jets need to stop bombing the Middle East. The brainwashing of the masses it's not going to happen, and the UN are coming to take our country because we are terrorists, people. Our country will be labelled mass murderers. And a United Nations peace army are coming, and that is not peaceful. They plan to murder people in this country, and they want to take your weapons away from you. And I have no idea. The things I'm saying on the Facebook and stuff, and all the things apply to the whole world, but in each country they're faced with different scenarios. So the transhumanism agenda here might not apply because they might have another plan to literally just take us over by the army, by the UN. So I'm saying, but other countries it will. It's difficult, because they've planned this very methodically and over time, and we could have stopped this, but we didn't listen. So the brainwashing of masses into a false perception of reality and about the mechanisms that govern our actual existence is a fundamental reason why we do not see humanity's common enemy, who are the demonic forces that reside in the elite, right in front of our faces. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg said that he wasn't human. Deflection through comedy. I mean, I was human. I am still human. He's not human, he's a demon. If you do not know you have been deceived since birth, you will not see the next very dangerous deception to come, which is to do with the unethical technologies being branded as beneficial for our species. It will, regardless, whether it will be immediately and it will be a told you so moment, or literally when they turn it on, you're gone. Your temple will be gone. Your body, your soul will be gone. We have forgotten history, and now it is repeating itself again. There is a saying that all roads lead to Rome, and this is an absolutely true. The Fourth Reich is right in front of our eyes. The Catholic Church has never gone away from their plans of world domination, whether it be through the Roman army or through the Nazis. They're still here, they're still in charge, and they're still pushing for world domination and everyone's death. We need to see it. So the Catholic Church during the 1500s created many different secret societies, such as the Knights Templars, the Jesuit Order, Muslim religion, as I've said, and others that subsequently went on to form many more through time as they branched out their power of controlling nations through malicious political royal coups. The Templar rituals partaken by these involved in Freemasonry still kept this tradition alive today through the worship of the Baphomet and other Egyptian deities such as Ra. Let's get back to modern times and try to understand how science can be used for an evil agenda to kill all of the aliens' creations on this bloody planet. Earth, it should have said. They're not on a planet. Never mind. Including humanity for a clever deception over time using technologies, drugs and psychological operations for the guise of science. The Freemasons called it the Great Work, which was part of an agenda to control the perception of the minds of the masses for the selectiveness of the material evidence and a build-up of many deceptive technological inventions, especially frequency-based devices. The education system has a major role in how we perceive this reality and has been used as a tool by the elite to get away with this very real agenda that we now all face together. The MK-Ultra connection to the government's intentions towards the public are another massive connection which proves they have designed these technologies for the brainwashing the masses of generations. It proves it. These beliefs of the Jesuit, Catholic, Templar, Freemason sits center stage in everything we see on television, and the Bible, because their God is Lucifer, and they want us to worship a single deity, but we really should worship the gods. If anyone, we should worship them. We work for them. We should actually, trust in them more so and do the things that they asked us to do. But their god is Lucifer, and Lucifer is not a man, it's a plan. And that has to do with the emulation of the creation, the fake ass holographic sun, the fake moon in China in 2020, the space net grid, so to speak, of wireless power, because they want to give the world free energy and false guise again, because we had free energy, we still got free energy from the creation, but you don't understand these things because they've lied to you about the mechanisms that govern our existence, to do with toroidal fields and Fibonacci sequence and sacred geometry. It's mind-boggling, man. So they do sit center stage in everything we see on the television, which is why I can't watch stuff anymore, because I see the signs and symbols, I see everything, and I see the messages within it, and it just drives me up the wall, because I see their intentions now for it as well. I see ancient history for it, because history is repeating itself, like Game of Thrones, man. It's entwined with British history, ancient history, what's going on now at the end of days, and what's really coming. it's bad, people. But we still gotta be positive if we want to bring positivity into this world. So I'm trying. Through techniques using chemical, biological, and psychological warfare, it is self-evident that these institutions have not got humanity's interests at heart. They have corrupted the food, water, the air, and have total control over all major industries. Now, nothing is free in this world, yet vaccines are, and that doesn't concern many. The use of vaccines, which have very dangerous chemicals for humans, is being branded as safe when increases in certain diseases have steadily risen. Should have been risen. Never mind. It seems apparent that they are connected, and the ones responsible are those who pay to get their various heinous methods into the public. Frequencies, which is why you need to understand who pays for these things. You know, you follow the money, you'll find out who the perpetrators are and who's doing things, like George Soros, for example. Frequencies is ultimately or Bill Gates want to plan to block out the sun. Hello? Yeah, I'm helping humanity by blocking out the sun. Really? Frequencies is ultimately their number one weapon against our species, as we ourselves vibrate at certain frequencies. Wi-Fi or 4G is harmful to humans, especially to the developing brain of a child, and the next 5G upgrade 5G is microwave technology. This is a very evil plan by the elite in order to fill their plans for a new world order to literally hive mind humanity using advanced technologies together. If one spends time looking in the right places, you will find countless books and videos about these very evil people who at the core of our society have deceived your mind about the mechanisms that govern our existence. This involves the current UN philanthropist agenda that is already being implemented by our government into the education systems. This implication over Brexit is a distraction while they continue to implement these UN orders and EU Brussels orders in this country to teach primary school children about LGBT through the Equality Act 2020, which shouldn't be starting yet. 2020 it says, and yet all their agendas are implemented in our country already. You know, the Sustainability and Development Plan is already in the education system at university. It's literally embedded into the lectures. Come on, man. You must see their intentions. They're lying. They now are trying to make paedophilia acceptable for these agendas and have been trying to change the English language for equality purposes. Due to the gay agenda, many people believe that you can be genetically born gay. That's not true, as I've been saying. Now, as this has become more acceptable to believe to be true, they are now reclassifying paedophilia by saying that there are two types. The first is a person who is attracted to a minor who is only attracted at looking at indecent images of children, but not performing the acts. And the second is someone who actually commits the acts on an innocent child. So therefore, like, he's the paedophile, but the other guy is just a map. You know, hey, we can't help it, he was born that way. You can't help it. You know, can you not see that that's trying to blur the lines between accepting them at the core of our society and how, again, just as in the ancient past they show you in documentaries, once again there's going to be human sacrifices in public, cannibalism, and you know, mass genocide by them, because they caused it. History's repeating itself. Babylon's on the rise, and Babylon got washed away. What do you think's going to happen soon if you don't change the way you see this world? You're going to be cleansed with fire and ice. Where do you think that comes from? They have been saying that people are just born this way and that just want to be accepted into our society as a map using genetics to justify it. Even though these people don't understand that their subconscious picks up everything they hear in reality, i.e. lots of stuff that shouldn't be heard as a child. Please, or as in the womb. Please see that this is morally wrong and is an attack on the youth of humanity's future. Dr. Jordan Peterson is just one professional psychologist who you should research about the serious evil this gender can do to the minds of our innocent children. This education a malleable mind of innocent children. They'll just turn, honestly, if when you research the seriousness of a mental illness of the LGBT community and suicide rates, you seriously should be concerned about this agenda, because it's not good. Seriously. This educational agenda towards equality is one step towards creating an androgynous society, and this is something we ourselves must do in opposite with our energies by balancing the male and female in synchronicity to combat our invisible enemy. You must see the darkness of reality in order to bring light into this very evil world. As I've said, if you keep ignoring it, you're not going to know your own mission. If you don't know your mission, you can't bring anything into this world. If you don't know you've been deceived by evil, and evil, you live in a time of evil that's corrupted and killing everything, you're not going to do anything. They have inverted everything that was good, which was brought down by the Elohim, which created everything we think insignificant. They want to turn boys into girls, which will cause massive societal problems in the years ahead, i.e. mass suicides. It is already being taught, and many people are very angry at these institutions who are using the influence of money to get this agenda into the classrooms. We are enslaved by money and not born free. In fact, we are born into a corporation owned by the government, who are part of a bigger scheme, i.e. the Catholic Church and secret societies, who are in turn controlled by a small group of rich elites who house themselves in Switzerland and control us from Belgium. Brussels, who want to corrupt the seed of money and everything through their philanthropist agendas and their lies and the continuing guise of science. These people want to emulate the creation in the image of the beast using advanced technologies that do not humanity's best interests. And this has to do with the cloud and the Akashic system. This has to do with where what you're actually connected to, a supercomputer, artificial intelligence. This has to do with so many things to do with technologies that you yourself are actually technology. You must see that they have lied to you about you, and once you realize this, you must take action. You must go and research certain things or look at certain things in order for you to fully accept what's really going on. So I've almost finished this video for the day. I'll just finish this paragraph and we'll see. Right. So they want to emulate the creation, the technological creation. This involves the UN stated plan to give you free energy from space, it's low Earth orbit, when they, with their fake holographic sun and moon from low Earth orbit. And it's, don't be fooled. As I said, that you've got free energy around you already, and they've been destroying it. The technological devices, the pyramids of the world that were built by a selfless matriarchal society that they don't want you to know about. It's mentioned in the Golden Age in the Bible. The Golden Age. So it's they really don't want you knowing the truth at all about anything. And so if you keep thinking that you went to school and they taught you the truth and everything you believe you were taught is true, and that these theories are just best fit and that you're wrong. You couldn't be further away from the truth. You must really look for it, and it takes time, and you don't have time, which is why I'm doing the thing I'm doing now, trying to tell you that you were created and you are technology, and that you yourself can do something about it with your energy. You are special, every one of you that has a soul. So this knowledge has been well known by outside the academic society, who refuse to see that their bosses' bosses are the ones going to secret annual meetings to sort out their plans for the year for the further development of their sick agendas. We live in a world of lies controlled by a small group of evil bastards who have no interest in humanity's self-preservation. They keep it in the bloodlines, and this can be seen when you research many famous people on TV who many idolize, that are all related to each other through these now global but not so secret institutional organizations. This is just a small part of the deception upon our minds. There is much more to come that everyone needs to know about. In order to believe me, you need to know you have been deceived about every core principle which governs our existence. So I'm going to leave it there, and we'll get into the other key theories and concepts next time. But thank you very much for listening today. There's not much to see. Hopefully speak to you next time. Bye.